Hello, ladies and gentlemen in between, and happy holidays. I'll be honest with you,
excuse me, this is America. We say Merry Christmas, goddammit, alright?
The war on Christmas keeps me from saying that, Nathan. I'm sorry. Are you being attacked by butterflies?
Yes.
I didn't think I was going to need context for a Kirby game, but apparently I need some context.
So this is actually the first Kirby game. This is his first appearance.
Ever.
Yes. Like, this game is so old, if you actually look at the box art, Kirby is gray in this. He is not his iconic pink.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But anyway, as we were saying at the beginning, or as I was saying before you so rudely interrupted me.
Oh, my bad.
As a fat American usually would.
Excuse me.
It is the holiday season. And so Nathan and I have come together to decide to do, a series would be a generous term, but definitely...
It's going to be a two-parter.
A thesis, if you will, of games that we've received for Christmas. Because as any young gamer growing up probably knows, usually the way you get introduced to gaming is by begging your parents to buy you the games that you want.
Yes.
And that was definitely my experience. I literally had to beg my mom and dad to buy a PS2, and me and my sister literally sold them on the idea that it was worthwhile and an investment because they could also play DVDs, and that's how we somehow got.
That's
away.
how everyone got a PS2.
Yeah, that was like, hey, you don't need to buy a DVD player. We can just buy a PlayStation 2.
Well, you also think like DVD players back in the day were like prohibitively expensive. Like, it was a good value to get a $300 PS2.
If I remember correctly, when my mother and my father saved up to buy a PS2, it was about $250, I want to say. And a DVD player during that time period probably would have been
like $100 to $200.
Exactly. I was going to say about $150 average on its own. So they were paying extra, but not absorbently extra in order to get that feature. But enough about the PlayStation 2 for now. I want to hear about Kirby, because this is the game that you received on Christmas, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, so back when I got my original Game Boy Pocket, I forget the year.
What's the Game Boy Pocket? I'm curious. I've never owned like a handheld console like this.
So there's the original Game Boy. I'm sure you've seen the brick.
I'm familiar with the Game Boy.
This was an effort to make it more portable and use not 4 AA batteries.
So, and you'll have to forgive my ignorance in the matter. So we have the Game Boy, and then what? The Game Boy Advance?
No, Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance.
Game Boy Advance, and then like the SP and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's fucking.
That's Game Boy Advance.
Okay, yeah.
We're getting a little ahead of ourselves.
Well, it's just one of those things where I don't know a huge amount about it, so it's actually interesting to talk about it. Which is funny, considering the fact that I used to work at a GameStop, and not only worked at a GameStop, managed a GameStop for a while.
Quite a few of them.
Yeah. What can I say? It turns out you don't need a super amount of video game knowledge in order to actually work a video game store. Funny how that happens. Sorry, Castle lol.
Yes.
I'm sorry. We're talking about
you're fine.
We're talking about you receiving Kirby. When did you get Kirby?
Like I said, I forget exactly the year. It would have been mid to late 90s by the time I'd remember it. But I got my Game Boy, and I originally got Donkey Kong Land 2 and Kirby's Dream Land. And Kirby's Dream Land might be the easiest game in all of existence, but goddamn, it's got some charm to it. And like I said, you can beat this game in about 30, 40 minutes, which we will do in this sitting, but we'll break it into 2 episodes.
You're making it look easy right now, and
it's super easy.
You were talking about me taking control at some point. I'm like, dude, I'm not sure I want to. You know me, I'm terrible at platformers.
We'll see.
I was not raised on the platform generation. Like, some of the first games I played, it was let's talk about my Christmas experience. So I convinced my parents.
I'm on the stick, so me having conversation might not be easy.
I convinced my parents, or my sister and I.
That was a group effort.
Yes, convinced our parents to buy a PlayStation 2. And mind you, the fact they were able to do it was baffling, because my father at the time was working at a dog kennel, looking after fox hunting hounds, which you don't need the context, but it's not.
That's a story for another episode.
Not exactly a luxurious job.
Back when we played Barbie Horse Racer, we'll talk about Larry Dale and the foxhounds.
That's probably not the time to talk about it, but fair enough. But my mom at the time was working at Charlestown Races and Slots as a waitress. She's one of those people who would bring you a complimentary drink to hope that you'd gamble a little longer, basically. She lived on tips alone. And she worked entirely nights. So my family wasn't exactly the most wealthy in the world. So the fact we actually even got the PS2 was really funny. It's actually funny. My mom talked about it years later, and she's like, "Yeah, that's one of the few like family gifts that we got where we didn't put Santa on it, because usually."
Oh, I always hate when parents do that.
Yeah, she was like, usually we would have put Santa on it, but that gift was so expensive.
We wanted you to know.
We wanted you
Yeah.
to know exactly where the fuck that came from and how much effort and energy you put into that shit. And I was like, fair enough. I was like, what was the Santa gift that year? And she's like, I don't know, it was a fucking bicycle. Who cares? Okay, it doesn't matter. All right, you're missing the point here, which is fair. But yeah, so we got our PlayStation 2, which I was very excited about, obviously, for very obvious reasons.
Shit. A problem I'm having with this game, not to cut you off too much, but like, there's no jump button.
Really? How do you go up? The up arrow key?
No, like, so, Jesus Christ. Yes. So basically, there's
You're like, no, but yes.
So Kirby doesn't jump, he can inflate by pushing up. So I can fly infinitely. It's not like Smash Brothers where like you run out of upward momentum.
Interesting.
I can just fly forever. But
If only the screen would allow that.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
That being said, like, that's why I took a lot of damage in that level, because I kept trying to jump over them, but that's just inhaling. But back to your story.
But no, so we got the PlayStation 2, and I remember we got 3 games and 2 movies, 2 DVDs, because obviously it was a DVD player as well. And we got Dark Alliance.
Baldur's Gate.
Exactly. We got Rune Viking Warlord, which
previously seen on the channel.
And previously referred to as Rune Viking Warrior, and has been for years, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
really,
you Mandela affected the fuck out of that.
I really thought it was Warrior, and then we got the game, it's like, oh, it's a Warlord.
We now have 2 copies of that game.
Don't worry about it. To be honest with you, with it being a blue disc, we need 2 copies of that game. Because one of those discs is gonna fucking kaput on us at some point.
Your copy didn't have the manual in it, and I found one at the game store for like $7 that had the manual, so I'm like, let me do something nice for my boy.
Oh, you spoil me, especially during the holiday season. Let me fan myself off real quick.
Hey, I do what I can.
And the third game that I got was 007 Agent Under Fire, which
also previously seen on the channel.
Yeah, we actually did play a little bit of the multiplayer on
the early days.
Yeah, so those were the 3 main games I got. Now, as for the DVDs, those were kind of funny because one of them was a Bond movie.
Really? Our first DVD is when we got our DVD player.
Yeah,
which was not a PS2. We got Monsters Inc. as our first.
I've never seen Monsters Inc.
Oh, we'll get there. Because another game, to kind of bring it back around to the series, another game I remember getting as a kid for Christmas, the Monsters Inc. PS1 game. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to tell you about it. We'll save that for next Christmas.
Wazowski! I don't even know if that's his name. That's how I remember.
Mike Wazowski.
Is it really Wazowski?
Yes.
Okay. I thought I was just being racist for a second. I'll be honest with you, okay?
Well, sometimes you gotta check yourself.
Before you wreck yourself. As I've heard from many a reliable source in the past.
Yes, but...
Can you not inhale those?
No, the spikes I cannot.
Okay.
So, the audience is eagerly awaiting to know what this third game is. Or... No, you did say third game, the DVDs, you're right.
The DVDs. So, we got Die Another Day, which is a Pierce Brosnan...
I think it was the last Pierce Brosnan.
Bond.
The one with Halle Berry in it, right?
I don't think it was the last one. I think he did one after that, but I could be mistaken.
No, he only did 4.
He did 4 or 5, you're right, but, like, I'm not sure if that's the last one or not. It might have been...
But it was what, gold? Because now I've had just enough alcohol to where like we're going down this path.
Oh God!
So it was GoldenEye, World Is Not Enough,
yeah.
Die Another Day, and I know there's a 4th one.
There's definitely a 4th one.
I own them. I know I have them
Diamonds
on my
Are
shelf.
Forever? No, that was Roger Moore. Shit. I don't remember off the top of my head. James Bond films are a lot like.
I've seen one James Bond film. Do you want to guess which one it is?
You've only seen one?
I've only seen GoldenEye.
To be fair, that's a really good one. with Sean Bean.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a really good one.
And the only reason I saw that one is
Trevelyan!
The only reason I saw that one is because, like, me and my friend at the time were, like, super into GoldenEye on the N64.
As one tends to be when you grow up on 64, because everyone sucks that game's dick for no apparent reason.
Oh, dude, okay.
I'm just trying to start a fight at this
point. It's not for no. It's rough by today's standard, but anyway.
The second DVD, and this is what the crescendo has been building up to, because this DVD has shaped my entire life and all my life choices up to this point.
Babe? Was Babe one?
No.
Oh.
No, I'm joking. I'm being hyperbolic. It was Mr. Deeds, the Adam Sandler film.
The one where he's got Hawaiian Punch in a...
Yeah, in a water fountain. Yeah, the fact that's the thing you remember.
I remember a few more things about it.
He's got the black foot.
Dude, the fucking, the kid. One of the Sprouse twins.
Sprouse twins?
From, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and also from, I don't know if it's that Sprouse twin, but from, Riverdale.
I think you're talking about Big Daddy.
Is that not what you're talking about?
No, Mr. Deeds.
I'm pausing the game. I thought Mr. D... Maybe I am thinking of Big Daddy.
You're thinking of Big Daddy. That's the one where he becomes, like, adoptive father for this kid.
Dude, the Adam Sandler films kind of blend together after a certain point.
But it's just weird that you got the Hawaiian Punch water fountain. That is totally Mr. D.
Bro, in my head, those two movies are the same.
Which is fair. There's not a lot of distinction between them. But, Mr. Deeds is the story of this young, I hesitate to say, like, hick? But, imagine what you think a Canadian hick would be like, and that's kind of what Adam Sandler's
Oh, you mean,
character is.
the ones from Quebec.
Super into hockey, and,
Where's Lost from?
Don't worry about it. I'm not gonna dox my man Lost on here, okay? Do you know Lost is only 24?
Dude, in my head, he's 40, a virgin, and works at, like, the last Blockbuster in Canadian.
He's 24, has a fiance who's 20, and, very happy with his life.
Gotta lock him in while you can.
Yeah, no kidding. If you don't lock him down, Matthew McConaughey's gonna come around, okay? Because, those high school girls, they keep saying the same age.
Stop.
But Mr. Deeds, I'll be honest with you, the scene to me in Mr. Deeds that stands out the most is at one point, to give a quick synopsis of the plot, he finds out that he's the closest living relative to a billionaire who died, essentially.
Okay.
And,
Jesus.
He ends up inheriting the entire fortune. And of course he's some, Canadian hick. As I'm going to coin the
Is it
term.
actually in, Canada?
No, it's in America. He's like Midwestern, I guess, but it might as well be Canada. Like, the Midwest is Canada diet. We all know that, okay? I think that's a fact.
Sure. I don't know that I'm willing to take that journey with you, but let's continue the story.
What do you mean you're not... We can talk about it at a later date. But...
I'm about to die.
Long story short, or short story long...
Damn it!
You saw that coming from a mile away. I don't know what you were thinking there.
Oh.
Not only was Kirby in the clouds, your head was in the clouds too, apparently.
Tell your damn Canada story.
He ends up inheriting a fortune, and there's a really funny scene where they fly him out in a private jet to, like, New York City, which is, he's supposed to be like a small town boy, so he doesn't know New York City, and he starts singing, David Bowie on the plane. He starts... This is Major Tom to ground control. I'm stepping through the door. Space Odyssey? Space Odyssey? Oh. We've had a couple of drinks, sometimes syllables.
Okay, we've had 4. All right, calm down.
I said a couple. You upgraded that. Okay, you're fucking. Let's add to the total, shall we?
Shit. I didn't. Whatever.
And I'm floating in a
I needed that for damage.
Way. And the stars look very different today.
I fucked up.
Anyways,
I'm gonna die again.
You said you could beat this game.
Okay.
I kid you not, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between.
Oh, okay, it'll pick me up from here.
He told me that he could beat this game within 30 minutes.
The way we're at 17 right now.
The way he's playing, I'd be surprised if he beat this game at all.
Bro. We're 17 minutes into this recording, and that's after we talked for like 5 minutes before we started.
To be fair, I did want to talk about my half chub, and I'm happy you were there to listen.
I mean, someone has to.
To be fair, you were right. This beer took my half chub to a full chub, and I'll be honest.
No. We're not full chub yet. The next
the
one.
next beer. That's right. The next beer. But I'll be honest with you. I've never been so goddamn filled with the goddamn Christmas spirit in my life.
Well, why don't we talk about the spirits and let everyone know what we're drinking?
What are we drinking? I don't even know.
We're drinking, Drecker.
Drecker? I hardly even know her.
Cool. It's called Creeper's Pet. It is a cider smoothie sour. And there you go. That's what that is.
I was gonna say better than it sounds, but it sounds pretty good. Like, I'll be honest with you.
Like, dude, I walked into the beer store and thought, Justin likes cider.
I do enjoy it myself, a good cider. I'll be honest with you. I've even enjoyed a bad cider from time to time. I'm such a nutty boy. But yeah, no, I have to say, Kirby seems to be an interesting game. I'm just terrible at platformers, dude. Like,
dude, this might be the one to get you to start on.
Platformers require a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Parallel thinking. Because a lot of times, the important thing with a platformer is to keep track of not just yourself and your character, but also the terrain and enemies. I'll use the term broadly here.
Sure.
And that can encompass, just, actual enemies in the level, or even like projectiles and stuff like that, right? But it requires a lot of parallel thinking. It requires you to hold parallel thoughts in your head. And I am terrible at that. I'm very much a linear thinker. I am an inside the box kind of guy. I have a hard time focusing on several points of interest at one time. It's one of the reasons why I'm pretty good at like or not single player, but first person games. Because first person games, like, don't get me wrong, there is definitely the element of like being aware of your character's position, but that becomes I would say default when you're in first person, because you don't think about it as consciously. Whereas when you're playing a third person game, a lot of times, a majority of your control comes from controlling your character and controlling where you are on the screen, like you're doing right now, rather poorly.
Yeah, no, this guy's getting. So whenever I inhale something, I can't fly. So I need to wait for him to dip down for me to shoot it back at him like that. But if you notice, sometimes he'll shoot 2 enemies. All right, I think I got it this time.
And you can't jump with an enemy in your mouth.
Exactly. Because there's no jumping. There's just flying.
Well, could you shoot the enemy out?
No, it's straight out of your mouth. You can't shoot it up or down.
Right, but can you shoot it left or right?
So it's the direction I'm facing.
So could you shoot the enemy the opposite direction and then suck up the second one?
That's what I'm thinking I'm going to have to do in this next one.
Okay. What a prick! Did you see the leaves on that guy? You got a permit to carry here, buddy?
Yes, okay, so what you were saying is the way to go.
What can I say? What can I say except you're welcome? I told you the whole fucking guide. I'll be honest with you, I am not looking forward to this Christmas very much.
Alright, fucking Scrooge.
I made a bit of a gamble this year.
Ooh.
So usually, Nathan can attest here, I am a terribly unempathetic person. And I don't mean to say that from like an edgy, like edgelord, like, oh, I'm so cool kind of perspective. I just generally have a bad conception of like other people's
you son of a bitch.
interests and like their motivations in general. So that makes for a terrible gift giver usually.
Oh, you're the worst.
I like every once in a while I'll nail a gift, but it's almost completely by accident. Like usually it's like, I vaguely remember you mentioning something adjacent to like something you might be interested in, and so I might have bought you a thing one time that might have been interesting to you, and maybe it was, and
I'm gonna fucking die. Keep telling your story.
No, I was gonna say that's how like all of my best gifts have happened. Apparently, I gave Matt Merchant a gift that he
Oh, the fucking Freddy glove?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even remember buying that for him.
It was a clearance item at GameStop where you probably got it for $1 because you were working.
Well, mind you, no, I paid like $20 for it. Like, I remembered it after I was told what it was. I was like, oh yeah, I did buy that for him, because literally, we'd hung out at a restaurant, and I talked to Matt, and he mentioned like he loved fucking Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, he said it was one of his favorite franchises, and he loved the idea of Freddy Krueger. And I saw the glove go on sale, and I remember being like, oh, Matt would really like this, and I bought it for him. And don't get me wrong, like, that's a cool thing for me to do, but it's a very rare thing for me to do, right? So, usually every Christmas, I buy for my immediate family, and I have...
Nailed it.
50-50 hit and miss.
First try.
That was not first try, that was second try.
We'll edit out the other tries.
Yeah, we'll get the editor on that. I'm sure Nate Hatt would love to do that. Nate Hatt's our editor.
So, we're on the final level.
But, so, I have this bad habit of just not really being great about judging what someone will actually want. And every year, I usually buy like 4 gifts a year. Like 4 or 5 or 6 gifts, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And half of them will be well received, and the other half will be like, okay, thanks. And like, you know, you're like, okay, you didn't care. That's fine. This year, I took a gamble. So, this year, I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? Instead of buying $300 worth of gifts for the 3 or 4 people I'm going to buy gifts for this year. Let me buy one $300 gift for the house.
I can't see how this would fuck up.
Well, now, you say that somewhat sarcastically.
Somewhat, yes. I have a little inside knowledge of your house.
But the thing that you haven't heard yet is what the gift was. Because what the gift is a herb infuser. Used to infuse herbs into things like butters, oils, or even candies. And now, mind you, my family does grow a certain amount of herbs on the property, like, you know, mint, lavender, you know,
marijuana.
We don't grow that on the property. My mom...
We grow that just over the property line.
My mother's... Oh, my... Dude, my mom was trying to get me to fucking start a marijuana farm.
We'll circle back around to that story.
Anyway, so... But I was thinking to myself, I'm like, you know what? Everyone likes to get high. Everyone likes to infuse herbs, I guess, with things. I don't understand cooking as a concept, I'll be honest with you. I've been criticized for it before by many a person. But,
mostly me.
Yeah. But long story short, story long.
Shit.
I believe in you.
Nailed it.
Pudgy. You have to shoot that in the... Oh, okay, that works. But yeah, so I bought a herb infuser for the house. Now, my biggest fear is that I'm going to buy this herb infuser. Everyone's going to be super excited about it, because I think they will be excited about it.
Never use it.
And no one will ever want to, like, look up how to actually use the fucking thing. Which, like, is fine, I guess. I don't know. I'm bad with gifts, man. I've always been bad with gifts. But to circle back around to what we were talking about earlier, as in earlier in the story that I was currently telling.
Sure.
My mom has been begging me to start growing pot on the farm. Hogback collar.
Fucking cheeky ass fucking face shield motherfucker. We're circling back around to that.
Are we circling back now? Should I circle the wagons and prepare for the engines?
Finish your story. We're pulling out the good beer next.
Okay.
Well, the better good beer.
Ah.
I see their face.
But yeah, she's like, yeah, we can grow it in the attic or the basement. I was like, Mom,
The attic, that's a terrible place to grow it.
I was like, Mom, we got all this fucking acreage. Why wouldn't we just grow it on the property? And she's like, but you'd have to like build like a greenhouse and keep it temperature controlled and yada yada. I'm like you wouldn't have to keep it temperature controlled in the house? Do you think like that just works automatically? You think like that like houses are just the perfect humidity usually for this shit? My mom usually is ill-conceived of the idea of the amount of effort and labor necessary.
Wonderful woman.
To commit any given task, to be honest with you. She always wants me to do things, and I never want to do the things that she wants me to do.
To be fair, you never want to do the things anyone wants you to do. It's not specific to your mother.
Right, but, like, she's insane. Like, I've told the story before, I'm sure, where, like, she wanted me to build a bridge.
One of my favorite stories you've ever told me.
She wanted me to build a bridge across the creek in the back of our property. But she wanted me to build the bridge by cutting a tree down and then cutting the tree lengthwise to create 2 logs that were perfectly flat and then lay those across the bridge. And I told her that if you do that, the logs will just rot. That's how rotting works. And she's like, oh, well, you don't see bridges rot usually. I'm like, that's because they're treated. Like, I would have to, it'd be so much work. It'd be so much fucking work. I am not even an expert in carpentry. I have some basic knowledge of carpentry, enough to get me by. And I already know that
Oh god, I gotta do this guy again. Alright.
Don't worry, you can take 2 hits. It's 2 whole hits you can take.
Well, at least I know the pattern now, but back to your mother. He's a little faster, I think.
Well, so my mom came to me the other day, and she brought back up another old idea that you were actually around for, the windmill. Now, mind you, she doesn't just want a windmill, which, mind you, would be hard enough as it is, right, to build a functioning windmill.
It's got to be like weighted perfectly, doesn't it?
She also wants it to produce power. I can't do that. That's not within my skill range.
Also, doesn't it have to be like inspected?
Well, to be fair, technically, everything needs to be inspected on our property. That's how insurance works.
Fair enough.
Everything's gotta be approved. Hey man, you got over 200,000 points, man. You're doing great. You've only got 1 life left, though.
I think 0 counts as 1.
Oh, it's fair.
Like
You'd be on your last one, yeah. Wait, to be fair, you're going into the fight now with full health, so
yeah, I feel a little better.
Nice,
well, yeah. I have to be missing something here.
What do you mean?
Well, like the timing is off. Like he doesn't have a predictable pattern.
Maybe it's the amount of times that he, I don't know.
Yeah,
It is peculiar.
either way.
I mean, this is the first time I've ever seen this game in my life, so... Everything you're doing right now is magic to me. You might as well be Chris Angel fucking piercing yourself in a public audience for some kind of self-approval.
Yeah, that's what I like to think.
A very specific reference, but I think one that's apt. I'll be honest with you, I've never been so proud of my life when earlier today, you got out of the shower, you walked into your room while I was sitting in it, and I looked at you and I said, "You look like the murderer from No Country for Old Men."
Anton
Chigurh? Yeah, no, you should.
Yeah, hair's getting a little long.
I'll be honest with you, it's the 70s from the neck up from you right now. Like, I'm worried. It looks like you think the Cold War is still going on. The Cold War is over, okay? The Soviet Union fell. We're all safe now.
Or has it?
fucking, I was talking to fucking my coworker the other evening, and he was like, "Yeah, I heard that NASA might be planning another mission to Mars." I was like, "Oh, it's been a while since I've been there." He's like, "Yeah, man, it's crazy when I went to one time." I was like, "You know we've been to the moon more times than that, right?" And he's like, "No,
well, hold on, you said Mars.
Oh, did I say Mars?
You did say Mars to start with.
He's well, to be fair, I think he said Mars. He started talking about the moon later. I apologize. I kind of messed up my story a little bit there. But no, he's like, it's crazy when I've been to the moon once. And I was like, no, I've been multiple times. And he's like, I don't think so. I was like, no, there's been like 6 or 7 excursions to the moon. There've been over 20 people.
Yeah, we've just left monkeys and dogs up there, bro.
Well, to be fair, that's space, not the moon.
Oh, I thought very well.
Yeah, we don't. What do you think? We're just landing them on the moon and hoping for the best?
Dude, this boss is pissing me the fuck off.
In a weird way.
He's just wildly inconsistent, and it makes me think like I'm missing something?
Maybe you're sucking up the enemy too early?
I don't know.
No.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Because, like, I'm confident I can kill the final boss without dying.
What's the final boss?
King DDD.
King Triple D?
No, DDD. Like D-E-D-E-D-E. Nailed it.
But that's a lot of D, bro.
And a lot of E's.
That's like the most common letter of the alphabet.
No, D-E, you motherfucker. It's literally the letter D, the letter E, the letter D, the letter E, the letter D, the letter E.
That's what I'm saying. E is the most common letter in the English language. Like, I didn't count that one usually. I'm saying he's got a lot of D. Are we boxing? What's happening?
We are in a
here?
boxing ring, yes.
He's got a hammer. Ref! Can I get a ref here?
So the way we kill him is whenever he does an attack, you'll see a star pop out. We have to suck up that star and shoot it back at him.
He seems rather clumsy.
He's a chunky boy.
No, there's anything wrong with that.
That was a little close.
I
might not be as confident as I thought I was.
I don't understand what's happening here because it doesn't seem like you've done anything.
Yeah, I gotta suck up that star. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go into this fight full health.
I believe in you.
Okay, so Zero is alive.
I mean, 2 fair makes sense here.
I think I need to be standing closer to him. Yeah. Because my problem was I was going all the way to the... Oh, hello. Mr. Sneaky.
Hello. It was me you're looking for.
Okay, there we go.
Very nice.
See, I knew I was right. The problem was I was running all the way to the edge, waiting for him to attack. I have to be standing closer to him.
You have to
yeah,
bait out those attacks.
And, like, that air attack is just meant to attack people who are trying to, like... Oh, shit. Oh. So I could have sucked those up. So a problem I'm having, so the controller we're using, obviously we're playing on a Super Nintendo, Superboy. Or not Superboy, Super Game Boy.
Don't spoil it.
Well, it's yeah, no, people can't see the border.
Oh my god.
But no, we're using an 8-bit-do wireless controller. And I don't know if it's the... I don't know if it's the controller or what. But sometimes I'll start floating when I'm not meaning to. Like, I think I might be aggressively tapping and hitting up by accident.
You know, they say a poor craftsman blames his tools.
Well, yeah.
That was you admitting you're a poor craftsman.
Well, if I was a poor craftsman, I'd be agreeing with you.
But you just did agree with me. That means you're a poor craftsman. I'm not sure you understand how causation works.
Kind of like correlation, right?
No.
Correlation equals causation. That's what they always say.
Ah, the Fox News has been rotting your brain. Oh. Goddamn.
There we go. Okay.
You're getting some hits in. I just think it's funny you were like super confident coming into this fight and now like, okay, I'm gonna get it, don't worry. I'll get that.
No, like, I feel good about it. This might be a longer episode just from my, mistakes I've made. Like, I could get this back under, shit. Like, see what I'm talking about there?
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I'll float up, but I don't mean to. I wonder if that'd be mitigated by me using, like, an actual Nintendo or Super Nintendo controller.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, I think you totally could. I was surprised you busted out the wireless bitch, because I'll be honest with you. There's not a lot of controllers we have that are wireless.
Well, the reason I did that is because, like, the way we have our setup, like, having a corded controller would be inconvenient for this.
It can be.
Okay, there's the hammer. Okay.
Hammer time! Oh, 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 oh.
Okay, now we're even.
Apparently me singing helped you out, so there you go.
No.
Oh, you know what? Actually, this is the perfect time. I forgot. It's the holiday season. And, now mind you...
So whoop-de-doo and dickory-dock.
I don't know a lot of holiday songs, but I do know all 12 days of Christmas. So I can go ahead and just get that knocked out for you if you'd like. You know, go ahead and just go through all 12 days. It doesn't take super long. I can probably have it done within 3 minutes.
See, I prefer Corner Store on Christmas by Bowling for Soup.
How's that go?
A lot longer than it takes me to finish this game.
Really? Are you sure? Because
it's a long song.
You're pretty bad at this game.
Oh, dude, he's getting there.
That was some sloppy play on your part.
That was a little sloppy.
One of these days, we have to do like the 12 games of Christmas or something stupid like that.
Ah! What the fuck?
He
whooped my ass so hard, he changed the color pattern.
There's almost a joke there. Also, if he's whooping your ass by sucking you up, I have several questions about your childhood.
Ooh, that was close.
That was, 1 for 1, baby. 1 for 1. We're down to the wire, alright? I'll be honest with you, if this is a boxing contest, the refs will be on the edge of their seats, alright? They're waiting to see who has the final hit.
And that's game, folks. So I'm gonna have to stop you before Cindy comes in that door and says, I have to work tomorrow.
Does she have to work tomorrow?
Yes. You gotta think, you're coming here a day earlier than you usually do.
That bitch.
That's what I said.
Mostly
behind her back.
Is that food?
Yes.
The
so we did
credits?
it. Dude, I thought this was gonna be a two-parter.
The credits. I love that. I love you just labeling them.
So we actually did beat this game in 30 minutes. Like, once we cut out the intro,
yeah,
it might have been like...
This is Sunday Rain.
So, what do you mean?
The name on screen, like, you can pause it. It literally just said Sunday Rain.
So,
like,
something about credits from this time period, and even earlier than this, a lot, like, special things, Bubby, they won't put real or full names
Cypher
in the credits. Like shit like that, right?
Oh yeah, I do remember hearing about this. Where a lot of people,
I think it's like more common.
Some people use pseudonyms. Some are forced to actually.
Like in Japanese culture, yeah, I think.
Yeah. Well, it was one of those things where I remember there was a certain amount of expectation when it came to the fact that Nintendo needed to get the credit, not the programmers who worked for Nintendo, sort of thing. Also, did I say HAL Laboratories?
Yes.
That's a fun little reference. Someone was like,
that's who made it.
21 Space Odyssey, you know, 2001, sorry. 2001 Space Odyssey, 21.
I don't know that it's a reference to that, but, Kirby's telling us to shut the fuck up and get out.
Bye-bye.
Well, we have now unlocked hard mode,
Oh.
which you can actually unlock this without having beaten the game. They just tell you about it here. Like, all it does is changes some enemy attack patterns, and I think might do extra damage.
Interesting.
It's not as hard as you think.
Not as hard as I'm about to be having this next beer.
Yeah, so we're gonna say goodbye. Hope everyone has a Merry Christmas.
And a happy holiday. Or holidays, to be honest with you. Because not only does it have to cover Christmas, we have to think about Kwanzaa and Hanukkah and then the New Year's as well. And then Chinese New Year's is only 2 months away.
New Year's? Alright, everyone.
I had a burp, I'm sorry.
You had it.
What are you, my real dad?
You don't know your real dad.
To be fair, I don't look anything like my current one, so that would make a lot of sense.
Alright, well, we'll see you guys, eventually. Goodbye.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge in a pear tree. I got all 12 ready. On the second day of Christmas, my true